My name is Mariana Barbosa, and I'm a 5th grade teacher here at Butler Elementary School in the Isaac School District. One big change is they like going back into the text. Something that they struggled with a lot in the beginning of the school year was they would just read it one time and guess an answer. But because they enjoy the stories, because they remember what they're reading, they are able to go back into the text and say, look, this is my evidence. And so I believe that because they do enjoy the stories, because they do connect to them so much, they are able to say, oh, I remember when in the text, and they go back to the text to provide evidence and give their opinions on whatever is going on in the story. For example, today, the story about Cesar Chavez, they do resonate with that because it's about farm workers and and then everything that they went through to get workers' rights and everything like that. They love talking about that because justice to them is everything. Okay, they want to make sure that everybody is equal, and that so this text in particular they were able to connect to, so they talked about it and they had discussions, and maybe they went off on a few tangents, but they do like explaining themselves and providing evidence. Like we saw a lot of them go back into the text and say, well, no, I think it's this because in the text it says, and then they do like talking about it because they do enjoy the text, and because of the text they understand what we're doing in class that day. They knew we were working on inferencing, so they made sure, yes, I mentioned the text, but they used it to provide evidence for an inference that they had made. The very first week is like 1 story, 5 questions, vocabulary, and then if you do the writing, you test on the writing. But they're very short. First week, short. It's like a little quiz. And then the second week, they might add another story, or they'll just add a few more questions. Third week, you'll have about 2 or 3 stories. But then by the 5th week, there's like 4 stories, 20 questions, vocabulary. So it kind of builds on itself the same way that the lessons build on themselves. So it's not just, oh, the unit test, you have 5 stories, boom, done. No, you gradually build them up to being able to answer all of these questions. Because when they take the test, I do tell them, how many times do you read it? And they say 2. So during the test, because I'm not reading with most of them, I do have them go and read it twice. They read it, read the questions, and then they read the text again, and then they go and they answer the questions. Reading the text twice is something that I found helped the students a lot, but especially with the texts that are part of the assessments, the weekly assessments and the unit assessments, I found that it helped the students understand it more, because sometimes the vocabulary inside the text isn't vocabulary we've gone over or that the unit has gone over, so it sort of helps them read it. So reading it twice improves their comprehension, even if it's just by a little bit, to be able to answer those questions. So when it comes to comprehension, reading it twice I found has helped them. And in the beginning of the school year, I didn't do it like the first couple of tests just to see, and then I think the following unit or something, I had them, okay, you're going to read the text twice, and it improved their scores dramatically because they had a better, because the first time they read it, they're just looking at those words and they're just reading them. They're not really seeing it. They're not understanding it. So the second time they're like, okay, I've already read this. I know what words to expect. So when they're reading it, they can actually take their time and actually understand what it is that they're trying to understand.